All right, guys. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I want to talk a little bit today about fitness. I think most people associate fishermen as fat, out of shape, or people that don't need to exercise. So I'm here to debunk that methodology. And I think nowadays, people are getting more away from that, getting more and buying into the fact that everybody needs fitness, everybody needs exercise. But fishermen especially, most people just, again, consider fishermen to be lazy, out of shape, people that don't need to be fit. Well, that's not true at all. Fishermen absolutely need to be fit. Traveling on the road as much as they do, riding in vehicles, rough waters, the boat, just beating you up, beating your back up, beating your hips, your flexors, your, the casting from your shoulder, using your shoulders to cast, 300, 400, 500 times a day, setting the hook on fish, all those different types of movements, can put strain on certain areas if you don't exercise your body the way that you should. I think, a lot of fishermen, a lot of people I know, like myself, getting into, so big into the fishing world and the fishing industry, I'm exercising my brain all the time with new fitness knowledge, trying to learn new things, always thinking about the next step, the next cast, the next fish, the next tournament, whatever it is. You're always exercising your brain. I think most fishermen would agree with that, but not all fishermen exercise their bodies, and it's just as important. It really is. Your performance will lack, your mental performance will lack because of the toll that it puts on your body. It makes it very difficult for you to be able to focus if you're hurting, if you're in pain, or if you're not putting yourself in a position, fitness-wise, to be successful on the water. And yes, it does make a huge difference. It absolutely does. I don't care what anybody says. If you are lacking energy, if you're just flat out lazy, and don't exercise your body the way that you should, it's going to negatively affect you on the water. It's going to negatively affect your mental focus. It's going to negatively affect your body, obviously, with aches, pains, possibly, surgery later on down the road, later on in life, which is going to keep you from fishing. Again, fitness is crucial to your success as a fisherman as well. Obviously the biggest factor in all that, especially with how much a lot of the pros and your upper level or your upper echelon fishermen, travel all the time. They're gone on the road. They're riding in cars. They're constantly sitting, which is a major problem, especially when it comes to nutrition, because typically you're eating on the run, you're stopping fast food places, you're trying to eat quickly, and on the water it translates the same way. You're trying to get a quick meal in between casts or in between, riding from spot to spot, and typically what people are eating is just not healthy, and that plays a huge factor in why a lot of fishermen are unhealthy. So nutrition is probably the most important factor, because it's a daily, hourly, decision that you have to make as far as what you're putting in your body. The exercise aspect of it is actually the easiest part. I mean, you're talking about, 3 days a week, 45 to 60 minutes in the gym. You don't have to go and exercise for 2 or 3 hours a day. Fishermen are not bodybuilders, they're not competitors. They don't have to exercise the same way. It's more just for preventative nature, as far as injuries are concerned, strengthening the body. Everybody needs to strengthen, and just because you lift weights doesn't mean you're trying to get big or bulky or whatever. It's just part of boosting your metabolism and training your body to be able to withstand all of the things that you're going to go through as a fisherman. Like I said, it's not just sitting on a boat making some casts and catching some fish. There are times where fishermen do take a beating on their body, especially up north in some of those big lakes up there. 4, 5, 6 foot swells on these doggone lakes. Not only is it scary, but it just absolutely beats your body up, pounding wave after wave after wave. Your lower back, your shoulders, just your body in general. You tense up, you're holding on tight, you try to make sure you're not flying out of the boat. And there's a lot of things that factor into why fitness is so important to fishermen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a series of videos on how fishermen should eat, especially on the road when they're traveling, while they're on the water. I'm going to do some exercise videos on how to properly exercise and train your body as a fisherman, not as a bodybuilder or as an athlete, although fishermen are considered athletes. And if people will probably think that's funny, and it's really not. Fishermen are athletes. I've trained my body in the military and as a civilian, for many different things, as an athlete, and I've been doing it for a lot of years. So I can tell you, as in doing that and then getting into fishing as heavily as I have, and especially in the competitive side, it can take a toll on your body, even for somebody like myself who does have a background in exercise. So I can only imagine for people who do not exercise, the toll that it takes. And I've talked to professional fishermen that have had back surgery, shoulder surgeries, knee problems, you name it. And a lot of these things could be prevented by the proper exercise program. So anyway, guys, I'm going to put together a really good series of videos to help all those fishermen out there that need to do something. And if you think that you don't, you are out of your mind. As even people who are non-fishermen, who just enjoy fishing, during the, once a month, twice a month, a few times a year, whatever it is. Everybody needs fitness. Everybody. I don't care who it is. It does not matter. Everybody needs fitness. It needs to be a way of life, if for nothing else other than your health. And if you don't care about your health, if you have a family, well, you should care about taking care of your family, which means you have to be healthy in order to do that. So if not for yourself, do it for your family. Do it for somebody you love. Fitness is extremely important, and everybody needs to take part. Spread the word. Fitness is huge. I'm going to put the videos through my company here, Dynamic Health and Fitness, and look for some videos here coming up, guys. I'm going to show these fishermen how and when to eat and how to exercise, whether it's on the road, at home, or whatever. Thanks for watching, guys.